Good whatever to you, whenever you're watching this episode of the St. Cloud Moron Show, or as it's known over on Twitch, the St. Cloud Maroon Show this week. I am your host, Dylan. This is my co-host, Bergsnake. How is your morning going?
Pretty good. Still moving furniture around, getting things ready. I don't know how, but over the last 10 years, I have accumulated so much junk in my house. It's remarkable. But
That's
you
something
think you're
that
done
I
moving.
said I'm going to knock off with my last move, was accumulating things. But some things you got to have, like this box set of Tales from the Crypt on DVD. That was actually a purchase from over the pandemic. There were some things like this Twilight Zone complete series DVD that I was like, I need to own, so I have it. Simpsons seasons 1 through 8 I've had on physical in case they go away. But we'll be getting to those in the October month. The Tales from the Crypt best of and worst of episode. Looking forward to talking about that. But today we are jumping on the bandwagon of goofing on Aaron Imholte. We've been doing this for 12 weeks. It got me over the monetization minimums here on YouTube. So thank you, Aaron, for creating this small little industry. And who knows? Maybe this is the finale. Maybe Aaron, well, he came up with, what was it, $7,500, $10,000? He was in the clink, but he came up with his bond. So I was actually unaware that he went live this morning. You saw a little bit of it. I threw that on the queue. So we've got that coming up. And SJ Fanboy pointing out Aaron has had more TV exposure this decade than Stuttering John.
Yeah.
And that is correct. With this first clip of the Fox 9 News in Minnesota, the 2020s have been more newsworthy than for our buddy Stuttering John. So I thought that John was going to be the breakout lolcow of our corner of the internet. Nope, it's Aaron.
Yeah, he's quickly moving up the ranks. I'm impressed. I literally tweeted at him this morning or yesterday morning. Please rebrand, because now's an opportunity because of what we're about to see over here. There.
And my apologies to SG Fanboy. The mind just defaulted to SJ, the same way that I've been saying George Carlton because of fucking Brendan Schaub. I've quoted George Carlton being a heavyweight of comedy so much that's just coming out, and that's happening to multiples of us. I pointed that out with Carl Hamburger. Chewing the shit is just coming out now when he means to say shooting the shit. So my apologies. Boom. That's what it was yesterday with the Emerald references.
Emerald, that's right.
Bam. It's making fun of the boom from Stuttering John. Stalio knows George Carlton. I think we all know George Carlton. He was, and I pronounce it like Schaub does, comedy, when referring to that. But yeah, just attempting to say George Carlin and fucking Carlton came out. So
yeah, right, there you go.
And a quick plug for What Is This Game? Talking a little bonus Prey episode. Went long last time and still got more to talk. 8 to 8:30 Eastern. That is around the starting time. And members only over on my channel. We will have a late starting time as well for next week's episode. I will be out of town, but Aaron Imholte, he will be in town for quite a while. I don't think he can leave legally now. Let's go over to Fox 9, Minnesota for the details.
A local podcaster is now facing charges for something he allegedly did while live streaming his show. Aaron Imholte is the host of the Steel Toe Morning Show that has been on the air for at least a decade. Fox 9's Karen Scullin joins us now to explain what is happening here. Yeah. Karen?
37-year-old Aaron Imholte made his first court appearance this morning for disseminating.
I do love that we are the exact same age. He's got 2 failed marriages and doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Sure, my glory days are behind me. But have some more glory days coming up. But I like having a nice parallel with Aaron Imholte to be like, all right, I'm doing it better than that fella. And I'll give Crumb a little George Carlton dance.
Oh, yeah,
from the
dude.
Prince.
That was what I thought at first, was every time I hear Carlton, that's the name, it goes right to Alfonso.
Private sexual images without consent, but he appeared to do this while actually live streaming.
I bet you thought I wasn't coming. Welcome to the show. It's me.
It's 37-year-old Aaron.
And a fun little slide in there. Nice transition, news people. Oh, and he has got his awful chicken scratch on for all of Minnesota and now the world. Thank you, Internet. We get this local Minnesota broadcast wherever we are with that chicken scratch back to ever streak equals 7.
Yeah, he erased. Oh, we'll get into this morning. He erased that off of there. I just want to make the point that everybody else knows that's a dry erase board. He's got a dry erase. That's all. I'm just going to remark that he's got a dry erase board. Yeah, no. When I first saw this, it came in Discord last night, and I was like, no way. And I clicked it, and then the news anchor. As soon as that guy goes, Aaron Imholte, I almost spit my drink out. I was like, no way. This is because we got goofs in there, and they make some pretty funny stuff with news clips, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he's on the local news.
Initially, it's like, all right, one of you Spurgs, what'd you do? For me, this was broken by Corn Diff. I was listening to his show while at work. So he was breaking news last night because he had the same thing of like, this isn't real. Nope, this is a real news broadcast.
Yeah, it was so bizarre because it's like, I got a running joke that Chris Chan's dimensional merge is happening, and there's been extra Ricada coverage that's featuring him, and it's bleeding into other areas, like other community drama channels are picking up on it now, because it's a wild story a bit, it's not typical of what we see out of any of these lolcows at all, never a polycule like that. I mean, I think the last thing was when Ethan Ralph got into a fight in his house. He got, like, somebody was cheating on him with his girlfriend and he punched him. Or and whatever happened there, you know what I mean?
Thanks, Ethan Ralph, for risking a contempt of court charge. We've got that video coming up soon as well.
That's right.
Aaron Imholte, the host of the Steel Toe Morning Show, a YouTube podcast with about 13,000 subscribers. But one of Imholte's May shows has him in some legal trouble. He was reported for sending a photo of a naked woman that he knows to a person joined
right here.
They zoom in.
This is the exact thing he is being charged for.
Him on the podcast. That woman reported the situation to police, and now Imholte faces criminal.
Oh shit! I forgot to convert. I believe it was Honk to Clown that threw a goatee on him, and it looks very similar to the BTK killer, Aaron Imholte's mugshot.
Charges.
Did you check? I like tattoos more than I think. Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
Is this the station that TV's Will Heron works at? They're doing some of these clipper zooms that we have become so familiar with.
Like, that's what makes it so good. I don't know if they took some. It's like somebody sent them Doom's clip or something. You know what I mean? Like, here, just play this on the news, and they did. He said something about.
No love for Gino. Absolutely right, SG fanboy.
Flat broke Gino gets no love. He was remarking on this that somebody sent this to his local news team. Like, it wasn't him, but somebody. He made it sound like somebody was trying to get revenge on him by putting him in the news, as if it wasn't newsworthy.
Mr. Blue Sky with a fantastic new avatar there. It does appear that he went a little Conehead Megamind with that mugshot. Very well done, Mr. Blue Sky.
No, he does not feel shame for that mugshot. No shame.
It's so fun that last week he was just having a ball at April's court appearance, and now he's just got to have his court appearance and look all.
Yeah, he was super mopey in his court
Go
appearance.
figure. Who would have figured that someone having a court appearance gets them in a shitty mood? Thank you for that commentary on April, Aaron. We wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
And those words are now part of a criminal complaint against Imholte. The court documents describe a relationship breakdown between Imholte and 3 others. He started disparaging them publicly on his show back in April before sending the nude photo in May. Today, other podcasters are using it as material for their shows.
And this is another fun thing that they chose. They could have thrown a dart at the wall of people covering Imholte. We've got someone that is recognizable to some people here in Kevin Brennan, along with Stevie Lou.
Stevie Lou.
I believe we're a bit too much of an obscure one for them to come by. But MLC, that's at the top of the list of.
So funny, dude.
Who covers this guy? Who hates everyone? Oh, Brennan definitely doesn't like him. Brennan doesn't even know why he doesn't like Shuley anymore. One day he just said, fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Also, real quick, Brennan was in the news recently for ripping on Matt Perry.
That was a few months back. He went viral for that. I think I did a Kevin Brennan co-host audition right before that, and I was like, oh shit, I should have held that off a couple of weeks. That could have been an attention-seeking episode if I hadn't have done it now. And I could have done another one. I just don't like doing them
just going to suggest
so
that
quickly.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that, though. Kevin does need he does need a co-host, and you should audition.
Both in real life and for our entertainment as a show who gives unsolicited co-host auditions.
I love it, too. I love it.
Gino snitched on Aaron?
Gino 100% snitched on Aaron.
Imholte is a sort of shock jock type, often saying things that some would consider racist, homophobic, misogynistic, and more. Some have said to Fox 9 that he used to walk up to the line, but now he crosses it.
Imholte told police he did not recall ever receiving or sending a nude photograph of the victim. He bailed out of jail this morning with a no contact order, in addition to no disparaging comments on social media, online, or...
Does April have a protective order as well? Does he have the trifecta of the last 3 women that he was intimately involved with? Come on, Slam Piece. Get up to the plate. Get part of the cool kids and put a protective order against Aaron.
I'm telling you, I'm not sure if April has one yet, but Ashley has one and Kayla now has one. I think April is semi-biding time. Ricada called into Melton's show yesterday morning, and he didn't speak like this is what's going on, but this is the smart thing to do, is to kind of bide your time, watch out, because that's the other thing that's going on. Delete. Aaron pulled a bunch of shows down off of YouTube, but he's a moron, and he always leaves them up on Rumble. So if there's anybody looking to clip old shows, I'm sure they're still there.
I was disappointed to find out our buddy Stuttering John figured out to take them down from Twitter. Finally, that was something that I was like, oh, I haven't done John in a while either. That's a nice attention grabbing, audience grabbing episode I could do of co-host auditions for a third Stuttering John, but he's now started deleting them from Twitter and putting them behind the paywall on YouTube. So damn it, even he's learned. We'll see how long it takes Aaron to learn with his
I know.
getting to delete Rumble.
or on a podcast. In the newsroom, Karen Scullen, Fox 9.
So that was our first presentation. I forgot to give credit from who I
Charges
got
for
that
something-
from. Oh, the official Fox
Actually,
9
Fox
Minneapolis. Thank you for clipping that. Fox 9 Minneapolis.
I'm curious to see how many views that has against some of their other regular stories. I'll
Charges
look
for
later.
They're
They're up to 20,000.
Yeah,
Close to.
It's a climbing. Let me open this up in a new window and check out some of their other videos. They're in the hundreds. Everything around that is in the hundreds. There's one with a 12,000 charges filed against
Drunk driver. Okay.
So by far, this is the biggest one. We do have one motorcade involved in a crash, but yeah, this is one of their outliers of more than a few hundred.
I was curious. Because for some reason, people are interested in the train wreck that is Aaron Imholte right now.
That's why we're doing this. He was just another co-host audition, and I spun it off. And it's been a while. I'm heading some obscure YouTubers, so I haven't gotten those big numbers that some random ones get big numbers. But Doom over here, our buddy, has a new intro, and he's putting different things of the supervillain Doom turning on the TV. My favorite one is Ray DeVito sounding just like the baby, the immigrant, and the guy on mushrooms.
Oh. Yeah, he does it so good. He is the guy on mushrooms, except he doesn't have mushroom brain. I don't understand it.
Oh, and I forgot to make a new intro this morning. This is the thumbnail. The orange is the new bag. And I'll have to make one with his mugshot for the next episode, presuming there will be a next episode. He's still doing a show. We'll jump on there and check out the first few minutes a little later. But first, we are checking out Doom. Aaron Imholte flagrantly violates restraining order.
Go! Five, I would say. Honky says that April queef squirt stained bathroom was the deal break. That's not what that is. Citizen M says, I hope that none of April's negativity affected the children's relationship with their real mother because she's an amazing woman.
That doesn't sound like a super chat. You've already established, and this is from 6 days ago, so that's about around the day that Doom clipped this one. Aaron, and it was the day of that he started violating that protection order against Ashley LaRue. He can't help himself.
No, he can't. I don't know why, but he just... And he thinks he's smarter than the rules, like with the lottery night. Like, oh, if you buy a sticker, I'll give you a bazillion entries. It's like, dude, that's not how that works. That's not, you didn't think that somebody else didn't think what you're trying to do already?
There's some loophole to make that work. I've heard of it recently. Actually, Jim Cornette talking about it. Of buy a program, get a raffle ticket for free. So there is some loophole. But yeah, I'm with you. I think he consulted a lawyer.
Right.
And the lawyer he could consult now on his shit list. Who would have thought Who would have thought that getting a very public feud and showing a spotlight on a lawyer, that he could have turned the law against me? Who knew lawyers knew the law so well that he could turn it around on me? Gee whiz.
What a dope.
My daughter said something the other day. She said something the other day, and I'm not going to get in trouble for this. I've asked for permission, and we're working on new shit. But
are you sure about that? Ashley can say one thing, but her lawyers may actually say another thing.
My daughter said something the other day. She said, Dad, watching you and Mom communicate and talk and laugh when you talk to each other, and she's only 10, so she doesn't know how to say this properly. She goes, I feel something in here, and it like flutters, and it like I don't remember the words she used, but she goes, and it feels
Aw, she's in love.
really good, and it makes me happy. And if you hear that, and that doesn't reaffirm and invigorate you to keep going on the path.
I do like that we can see this was the day before. Back to ever streak equals 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Or back to every. That might be a Y there. Either way, wrong way to word that.
Path you're going on, then again, you have no soul. You're dead inside. You're done.
Every single one of us is dead inside.
Poe says,
oh, there I go, radio vetoing again. I hear something that reminds me of a song, and I start singing it. Oh boy, sometimes there's a fine line between me and the lulliest of lull cows.
Steel Toe are always watching, so set the example that you want them to live. As for the viewers, I hope it's all genuine. We've been fooled before. Cheers, bro. Cheers, buddy. There's a Post Malone song called Nosedive.
Got to point out his dainty holding of the cup again, and that's something that Nick Rekieta is starting to come out and say, that Aaron, I believe, is a homosexual, says Nick Rekieta. And that might be something that Aaron was projecting onto Nick about watching Lady Rackets and Aaron go at it. He would say, and it would creep me out. He would have his head looking around the corner at us getting it on. So maybe it was the other way around, and he was just trying to get ahead of that, of like he was trying to watch my pecker and balls go into her. It wasn't me who was watching his hard cock.
I think most people know, like with the Kleinfelters thing, it's like he's riding these lines. Like if he's not at least bisexual, Aaron, he's denying it to himself. Same thing with being as out of shape as he is. And he also thinks he looks better than he does. It's so strange. Like he thinks he's a good-looking man. And I mean, you know, I'm a pretty good judge of things. He's not like an ugly guy, but he's a weirdo. He's like a creepy looking guy with the glasses and the hair. Cut the hair shorter, get contacts, don't grow the goatee, dump the steel toe he needs to rebrand. He needs a kitchen nightmare. Somebody needs to come and Gordon Ramsay's this fucking guy.
Radio nightmares, podcasting nightmares. Yeah. And Fox did try to spin that off into hotel hell, and now that they're bringing it back, come on, spin it off into Gordon Ramsay telling us how to be a broadcaster.
Something like that, you know. There should be an adult Milhouse. Yes, he is. Oh, what's Milhouse's dad's name? I can't remember now.
Kirk Van Houten.
Kurt, that's right. Can I borrow a feeling, Kurt? That's him. But that is definitely him, you know. He'll be living in his hatchback.
Coming up, Steel Toe. That he does have that Milhouse type of look, that everything's coming up Milhouse. Pimp My Podcast. Maybe Exhibit could come and help him out. Exhibit is a very charismatic guy. Yeah, how about Exhibit? How about me? How about anybody but Matt and Johnny Crutches? None of the Clippers had Johnny Crutches seems to be on his last leg. Hey, didn't even mean for that to happen with Aaron. That isn't a strong leg to begin with, so he really needs to use both. But he seems to be about ready. Well, he's getting a paycheck, so I can understand that. Johnny needs a paycheck, and Aaron's given him some from the beloved Chatter's monies.
Yeah, so, that's what I mean. Johnny's going to keep. He's going to keep showing up until he gets fired. He's doing that thing.
It's still better than a Walmart greeter coming on and doing a variant of your dream. And he's turning into like the quiet one. Maybe he's always been the quiet one, but he's like doing the bare minimum. He's now the Fez of the show.
Yeah, no, and Corey started doing that too when, before, like, and I know Corey gets flack from Aaron for ticking around with Patrick, like, you know, they were doing fun stuff. People were super chatting Patrick, and then Corey was kind of, you know, it would be like, blink 3 times if you're okay, and he would just deliberately start blinking. But
I saw that clip. Yeah.
Aaron took
Starting to freeze up.
at the wrong end.
You're coming through choppy, sir. I'm going to return to the clip.
Yeah, I saw it happen just now.
Your choppiness goes away.
Or cheers,
Sorry.
bro. Cheers, buddy. There's a Post Malone song.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I backed it up to get that dainty little cheers.
Nosedive that talks about this, you know? It's going to be so gay. I'm sorry. But, the whole point of the song is there's still beauty in the nosedive. And that's kind of how I look back at that whole thing. Where, yeah, I think if we hadn't met them, April and I would still be together. And I don't know.
It would still be a miserable marriage, but they sped up the divorce. I'm going to be in that camp if we're saying they would, because April was unhappy. You could see it. She could not hide those feelings. It just sped up her getting the fuck out of there, having somewhere to land.
And the same with Corey and now with Johnny. They're fed up. They get fed up with this guy.
I know I wouldn't be this happy. I know I would still have April and another person, at each other's throats, and I would have to keep, trying to. And
another person, you're masking it as well as you always have. Not at all.
Mediate that situation and getting myself in trouble. And April and Kayla have one thing in common. Neither wants a job. Yeah, I was talking to, I won't say who, but I was talking to someone at the courthouse yesterday.
Was there even a cut? Was there a cut between that last one? That was just straight to it again. No, yeah. He did not do a jump cut there.
Throats, and I would have to keep.
This is a rapid fire. Respondent is prohibited from directly or indirectly talking about, disparaging, and or harassing petitioner online on social media and or any online broadcast shows that respondent participates or has control
in. Trying to mediate that situation and getting myself in trouble. And April and Kayla have one thing in common. Neither wants a job. Yeah, I was talking to, I won't say who, but I was talking to someone at the courthouse yesterday. And they were saying that, because we were both like, Jesus Christ, why would you be in that situation? It's so awful, blah, blah, blah. And one of them said, that's how powerful some women don't want to work. That's how powerful that is. The idea of going to have to go work. They'll stay in a shitty situation instead and be taken care of. I mean, I believe the phrase is,
yeah, we don't have to go to work at that stupid factory, but we do have to look at this man's stupid face every single day. So she was taking the switch off from manual labor, April, that is, taking the switch off from manual labor to mental abuse on a much more frequent basis. And thanks, Hack Ride. I got to mention on 2 shows this Sunday, Blind Mike gave me a shout out, starting to check out what I'm doing. So thank you, Blind Mike, for becoming a somewhat regular listener, going through my back catalog, as I am of yours, of the Why Are You Laughing? Big fan of the Why Are You Laughing? Oh, yes, and the Shit Your Pants story on Unboxing Eric. There was no way I could not tell the story of going on a first date and a lady shitting her pants. That's just.
That's a good one.
I've been dating for, I was going to say 36 years, but I've been dating for a while now. I've been dating since I was 0 years old, and never have I had someone shit their pants on a date. And that's something I haven't heard of anyone else getting either.
No, I thank God. I'm knocking on wood. It has not happened to me.
Golden handcuffs. Triple N says, yeah, when April went hunting, it wasn't for deer. Oh, no, it was for penis. That's not good. Snowcat Tish says, neither April or Kayla wants a throuple. They both want Nick for themselves for some stupid reason. Right?
Because he's got old money. He's got old money and he's got more money coming in. I would be with a lady that I'm not particularly attracted to if she had that old money and could keep me in a cage all day until it's time for me to come out and pleasure her. In this fantasy, obviously, you see she's into primal play as well, but that's probably me reaching a little too far.
I know. Have you ever seen a movie called Blood-Sucking Freaks? It's a B movie, trauma-style B movie.
I haven't, but I am a big fan of shitty trauma, like B- movies. Call Trauma a B movie. Like that's Roger Corman type of movies are B movies. Trauma are B- at best. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't see that one though.
I'll post the link in the Discord later. Speaking of, join Dylan's Discord. Blah 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 blah.
Ew.
Hit the like button.
Mr. Blue Sky. I love that. That's so good.
Very well. Both Doom and Stallion 19 are newer clippers, and Stallion 19 is doing more of the documenting style, where Doom is coming into his own.
Right? Ew.
Hit the like button.
And that clip, that's something that Charlie, Penguin Z0, Moist Critical, wow, he's got a bunch of names.
Yeah.
He would not show that when he covered Elisa because he was
really?
like, I'm a little afraid to show this. And I didn't cut that out when I did Elisa. I do miss live streaming over on Twitter. I'm going to have to pay to get that back. I had hundreds of people watching that Elisa episode.
Oh yeah, that was also pretty silly because when the cops get involved, that's a story.
Thanks to Rini for becoming a new member. You can check out next week's shows this evening and tomorrow evening. I will be out of town, so can't do them live. So members, get them early, and they will get the live stream at 11:30 p.m., possibly midnight. I do reserve the right to make them a midnight Eastern show. So thank you for becoming a member, and we'll have some more fun stuff over there. And now we're going to Greg Edwards. Oh, this is our buddy getting the...
Look at him, mopey.
And I think we can talk over a lot of this until we get. I think it was 6:30 or 7:30 in.
It's basic procedural. The lawyer going back and forth with the judge, trying to talk him down.
For the most part, it's not too much to comment upon, but I do want to keep this on mute for a bit as we just watch his face. 2:30, I did note he says something here.
There he is. Another win for the toe.
Oh, that's Ethan Ralph having some fun.
You shouldn't have fucked with me, bitch.
Oh, I guess not. For some reason, I had it noted that 2:30. So I guess that's just when Aaron came on screen. So then we'll check back in at around 6:30. But I'm putting it on mute as we just watch Mopey Aaron and the procedural bailiff and judge talking to each other. Yep. And another thing over at Spurgtopia, someone, I forget who it was to give proper credit, put a compilation of Duckface ladies and threw this in there.
Yeah, he is making the purse lips the whole day.
Aaron described his arrest like he was reviewing a resort. Food was plentiful, good service, best mugshot ever, 5 stars. And you said that's up front at the beginning. I didn't get to review that, but I do have that on deck to check out in a little bit of how he started today's show because, I missed out on that. Things that were new this morning, I was running around taking doggies outside and such. Oh, A. Smith, wondering, we didn't eat a damn thing on the date where she shit herself. I came to the bar and she was already shit-faced drunk. So whatever she had eventually came out of the opposite hole it went into. And just don't be shit-faced drunk on I feel like DJ Electra had one of those recently. We talked about that on Lunchbox of her date being shit-faced drunk. She unfortunately did show up late, and he was like, well, I'm at the hotel bar, down. So a little bit of sabotage from both people on that end.
Well, that guy was acting like a jerk the whole time too. I guess they went to a show. UB40. That's right. I remember this story now. Yeah, that was a good story. Go back and watch that if you haven't.
And I think we're still 5 minutes in. And that's another reason decided not to play a good bit of this.
That's right.
Ethan Ralph had the audio messed up where there's an annoying echo for quite a while on this.
No, it wasn't Amber Heard. He might have done it if it was Amber Heard. Chat's
Panasonic
thinking that you were dating.
Not a Moist Critical fan. I might do a Moist Critical episode because he gets a lot of viewers. That would be one seeking attention. If I were to cover Charlie in the Moist Critical.
Yes, he's very popular too. He's one of those guys that once he hit a certain point, his channel just took off.
Yeah, so some people they get they just catch fire, and that's what we're attempting to do here. It took Carl Hamburger 2 years before he did Opie and Stuttering John and started getting a good, nice little following to it. So, yeah, this is the long haul. I have stumbled across a few podcasts that when they didn't get the viewers within a few months, they threw in the towel. But this is something to do for fun and hoping in the long haul to get a couple of bucks. A year in, I'm getting a couple of bucks. And what I did notice is that if the goal would have gotten me hard without lube, then I would have the goal for each week, because I did tell work, hey, drop me down to 4 days rather than 5. So I did do the math of like, well, it's easy to do the math when you're hourly. What would I make in that 8 hours? So that would be the weekly goal that I'm just keeping up here. It's not on anyone. It's just to make this even, and it won't be announced. And I imagine I won't be hitting it for a while.
Well, there goes the show.
I would note that I did look up case law regarding the conditions specifically regarding this. I could not find anything on point in Minnesota specifically, but I did find it.
Yeah, Sam Bibley, I haven't seen this before either. Like, he's in jail. They can wander him over to the courthouse. This is the first time I've seen this as well, of where they don't take the person who is in a cell over to the courthouse. This is new to me. And he did just turn himself in. So this is not jail, not prison jail. That I've been arrested a couple of times for the pot, and yeah, they just let me keep my clothes, fingerprint me, and let me go on my way. And apparently, he paid that what was it, $7,500 or $10,000, which he won't get back. If he had that $75,000, he would get that back. But now that is bail bondsman money.
Yeah, it's $7,500. I think he paid. And I'm not sure if he gets a percentage back or not, as long as he doesn't violate and shows up to court. I'm not sure how that works exactly, because I never had to be bailed out. But yeah, he's in a regular jail. He's in a local city jail. The next step up from city jail is county, and that's usually where you're either going to Fed or you're going to sit in county for a little while. Probably you can do like a year up in the county. They'll hold you there. If he was going to sit for 90 days, they would send him to like county or a workhouse or some shit like that. And then they would take his clothes away, take his shoelaces away. And he would have to sit and get everything. But Principal Uncertainty was spot on. He was trying to review it like it was a hotel.
And Principal Uncertainty asking if I did not shag that date. And seeing her in person, she was not the type of chubby, curvy I was into with the pictures from all the swipey apps. I was like, all right, this might be the chubby, curvy I am into. But both the body type being just a bit outside, and the shit in the pants, that made me pass. If she looked like Amber Heard, I I probably would have went for it because
That's what I was thinking. If she was hotter than
yeah, if she was along that hotness, she threw her thong underwear away. That's how another indication that she shit her pants is that her underwear was sticking out that I could see, and then it was gone. So there were several indications. A smell as she passed out at the table, went to the bathroom for a while, and then the underwear was gone. So. Several indications that some poopies took some place on. Yeah, if she looked like Amber Heard, there would have been a shagging, but she did not.
A Second Circuit Court of Appeals case where a similar condition was imposed. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals did find that it would not violate freedom of speech as it was reasonably related to the nature and circumstances of the offense, as well as it was narrowly tailored
I'm not
and
getting
only
an echo.
restricting.
And we do have several more minutes of this. I'm wondering if I should jump ahead again. He's going to get, because most of this, of why I pulled it, is just Aaron's dumb face here. After he had such a jolly time. Oh, look at April on this court appearance. Ha ha.
To other more severe charges. My client is a homeowner and has lived in Minnesota all his life. He's 37 years of age and divorced with 3 school-aged children. He has an associate arts degree from Brown College, and is the owner of
Ooh, an AA. I got one of them too. Aaron, we could be brothers.
Steel Toe Media.
My middle brother has a terrible hairline as well.
He advises me he has no felony record, no record of crimes of violence.
He's got that Minnesota no.
A single misdemeanor HRO that the
HRO.
He is a upstanding citizen. He spends his entire life here in a small town, and he's not going to go anywhere. He is not a flight risk at all, Your Honor.
He's a homeowner. He runs his own business.
This matter went out as a complaint warrant very recently. He retained me on Friday, and we had a plan for him to turn himself in this morning so we could address conditions of release. I would suggest that the request for $100,000 on conditional bail is excessive.
Nah. He's proved to be a serial harasser of women when they break his heart. It does remind me of when I was like 14, 16 years old. Like his heart hasn't calcified to get over this in a more healthy manner. A. Smith wants me to write a script about my dating life. I'll call it John Line Dating. That's what we'll call it. There's no one else using that title, John Line Dating. And thanks to
Smart
Radish for the gifted memberships. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure you recall that. Stuttering John was rambling about his second book, John Line Dating, for a while until that just faded away eventually.
Good. It's yours now.
Doesn't actually, it does make sense for me, John Line Dating, because poop.
And while we agree that harassing comments are inappropriate, I know this has to be balanced with a person's constitutional right to fair speech and any free speech, and any prohibition on speech should be narrowly tailored. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
And that's all I have about that, Your Honor.
Peterson. I've read the complaints. I've reviewed the allegations. I think because what the court is most interested in ensuring here is that Mr. Imholte understands
to stop talking about your fucking ex-wife, for Christ's sake.
He can't not address it every time. Every time a comment, every time a super chat. Sorry.
Yeah, not even a super chat. That first day, he was like, "Oh, super chat, you're not going to catch me." Matt, read the super chat.
Yeah, exactly that, dude. And again, he thinks he's shirking the language by getting Matt to do it. He's in control of Matt.
Abide by the court's.
And thanks to Doom for bringing up that section of the protective order every single time he violates it. A nice little touch.
Orders to not harass or have any contact with the alleged victim here. I do think that substantial monetary bail, which if posted.
Let's throw this on mute again for the last few minutes and watch his dumb face. As Hackride asks why this is revenge porn when it wasn't for revenge. Giving away Kayla's nudes without her permission falls under the revenge porn, even though it was gloating. The way the law is worded, he did not have her permission to share her nudes. So even though it wasn't revenge porn, it does fall under there, even though it was gloating at sending her nudes.
Yeah, I think that's just the title they have for the crime until they come up with something better, because I think it's dissemination of private information or some other such technical term. But yeah, it's the news clip that when they said the news clip, your boy didn't do too bad, did he? That's so great. Like, because that right there, that makes him look like a shithead. If this was to go to a jury trial, that's all they got to show, and he'll get convicted. Like Luigi mentioned, is he going to be a registered sex offender? I don't think so. But he will end up with a felony charge if his lawyer doesn't get it taken down to some sort of misdemeanor.
And once again, like a 14-year-old, when I heard that, your boy didn't do too bad, did he? That is such a 14-year-old. Yeah, those titties, I felt them.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Tattoo, I kissed it.
Yep. Yeah, he's very juvenile when it comes to this kind of thing.
And principled uncertainty, pointing out that Aaron's phone mysteriously broke over the weekend and his hard drive crashed. There is a case for destroying evidence you can't use that evidence. Whoopsie, I dropped my phone in the toilet. So that's another thing he could be pulled up on for charges, is destroying evidence.
Yeah, or obstruction, because if they wanted to subpoena his phone and then it broke, he's stopping them. Yeah, that's what it is, brag point. But yeah, no, the timing is really unfortunate, as they say. And I'm sure they are onto him locally.
Sam Bibley, we have Nick Rekieta, who has family money. Aaron, I don't know much about his family at all. And once again, this goes to like him claiming to be an Anthony Cumia clone. I should know all about your family. There is so much of Anthony Cumia losing his virginity to Buzz. And certainly there are some fun stories from Aaron's youth that he can sub in for talking about and violating his protection orders on all the women that he has banged recently. Do like your buddy Anthony. Write down a bunch of amusing stories from your childhood and start sprinkling those in your show. We've all got them. Maybe it's just some traumatic stuff, but you can turn that. A lot of Anthony's, the spaghetti against the wall, just a random domestic argument with his parents is hilarious lore amongst that universe now.
Cut it out, pissy eyes. And it's just him talking about the way his dad was treating him, speaking of, I was on the lunchbox and everybody was talking about first dates, and Hackride mentioned, be ready with your most terrible first date. and I didn't really have one. I didn't really have a terrible date story. I got a terrible marriage story. Like those kinds of. There's many incidents throughout being in the relationship with my ex-wife that I was thinking later that day. I was like, oh, I should have told this story or that story. There's stories to tell. Now that being said, does he have any of them? I don't know. I think he just sat in the classroom and kept his mouth. I don't know if anything ever happened to this guy. I'm wondering.
In that case, start making some shit up. Start buying Johnny Crutch's stories from him. And then Johnny Crutch, very much like Kramer, could do a tour of the real Imholte one day.
Yeah. That's what he needs to do. I think that's why he quotes movies so much. I think he tells movie scenes like they're his life. I was in
big thanks to big thanks to Blind Mike for the 5 gifted memberships. Thanks for stopping by. I've been really enjoying the yes, Radish dropped 5, Blind Mike dropped 5. Thank you, folks, and we will have bonus content tonight and tomorrow night because I'm out of town. So the members, the rope shooters will get those live episodes if they tune in tonight or just a week early. For those who have turned in, sometimes my mouth doesn't work properly. But yeah, big thanks to Blind Mike. I enjoy your comedy analysis, and yeah, I got to get you on stage one day. I'm with Hack Ride. I think you've got the chops, as Louis C.K. said. If you're going to be great at stand up, be terrible at it for 10 years. So don't expect to explode on the scene because just very rare when someone just has it immediately.
Oh yeah. And to that, I've been watching David Collins. He's been doing like this reality show thing and kind of filming behind the scenes of him doing his own little going to different clubs around the tri-state area there where he's at. And it's neat because I never really tried that. There's an open mic place right around the corner. I'm trying to work up the chutzpahs to get it done. And just go talk in front of people live and see how it goes.
I accumulated notes for a few months before I did my first stand-up gig. I want to say June, July, August. I was accumulating notes before I did my first set at Magooby's. I didn't know where to go for the local comedy show. Magooby's in Baltimore is a big club. I think it's the biggest club in the state. And who was it? Florentine? Jim Florentine. He was the host at my first night. I might be getting that confused. Well, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, start writing down notes for a few months to get your tight 5 together. Well, it won't be tight your first time out. It'll just be your 5.
Loose and floppy. Yeah.
And let's see. Do I want to go to that video? Yeah, we just watched Aaron in court. So let's watch Aaron making fun of April in court. Gonna jump to where April is actually on screen here from our buddy My Lost Interest. Clipped this one.
Stinky motherfucker.
For today's purposes, I'm denying the motion without prejudice.
Oh. Yeah, she's breathing. She's hiding the panic well, but it's right there underneath the surface.
Doing better than your duck face.
Yeah,
her
definitely.
hiding of the emotion, which, as we established, she didn't do very well on the Steel Toe Morning Show, but she's doing it much better than our friend Aaron. We could see it with that duck face, with that mopey. So April wins this round of bringing her game face to her court appearance.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think she was nervous for about the first minute or two, but there's a nice little comment at the finale.
That's sad to see someone. Yeah, I knew somebody else, and then to see them in this position, you're like, it's a weird spot for me to be in because I'm having this feeling right now as I see this where I'm like, I know there was a time in my life where I would have done anything to help her. And I see her now, and I feel no need to help.
October 8th at 3:30.
That works for me.
Aaron really did turned really quickly, at least from our view. As we know, he wasn't being honest for like a month when he was like, no, April and I still love each other. She's just not on the show. But before he was like, fuck her.
Yeah, no, totally. I personally, I think he thought he was going to steal Nick's wife and take April and Kayla back home to his house. And it didn't pan out for Aaron.
Oh, he loved it. I hope we have more clips. Actually, no, he can't talk about Kayla now. There's a protective order against Kayla. I was really enjoying him fawning over Kayla, who, from the looks of it, was taking one for the team. That
Basically,
is
yeah.
That's the theory that I've put out there on previous episodes, and I'm sticking with, is April going out and hunting. Those three decided, the Ricadas and April, like, we need to make Aaron think it was his idea to open up the relationship so that we can be together. And I stick by that. It was a plan that Aaron thinks he came up with it, thanks to the Ricadas and April.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with you. We mentioned that before, that he's one of those guys you got to kind of lead him into thinking he's in charge, and they got him.
Oh, yes. And pointing out his dry erase board, we didn't make comment of Court TV spelled with a Q in reference to the cover, what yes. Kayla gave the nickname of their polycule. We are the cover with a Q. So look at Aaron trying to be all witty there, having his Court TV on the dry erase board.
For me, I'm not sure if my client is that a good date. April?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, she didn't want to talk. Yeah,
and Aaron didn't talk. I suppose there was no reason for him to, because we just saw that entire time just very phased.
Yeah,
what
her
the
background,
description?
her
I'm
background
just
is
a
vastly
wordsmith.
different. Oh, you're a wordsmith.
Yeah, with my face. Very wordsmithy of me.
I know it's got to be bothering Aaron that she's sitting in Nick's office where he streams from. That's his microphone. That's his background. It's blurred out. But yeah, she's still at the Ricadas' house. And I find it weird that she's in court for her charges from the house she said she was visiting. She's still visiting there.
I think they've gone with the live-in maid. That appears to be what they have settled on. Oh, and I don't think I played the clip last week. I had it in the queue of Aaron getting all bent out of shape of Ricaда's father. We just thought she was the live-in maid. That's what he said. Aaron really got bent out of shape. I don't think we played that one last week, but that one gave me a giggle of Aaron. A live-in maid? You met her. You knew they were friends. Well, sometimes you give your friend a job as a live-in maid.
Yeah, no kidding. Right, exactly that.
Both can be true, that they are friends and that she's the live-in maid.
Oh, and one thing for Salvatore real quick. Stooped and schlepped. Just covering the bingo card. Yiddish words.
Lily von
Minnesota. Minnesota.
On a good face. Ooh, she's scrimping. Copyright Patrick Melton. Is that what that means? Hey, is that what scrimping is? Is that what scrimping is?
Oh, now he's jumping on the scrimp bandwagon. Comedy Shaman loves the scrimp word, and now Aaron has decided he no longer hates it and detests it, which makes sense. He hates and detests April, so now calling her a scrimp is one of his favorite things.
Yeah, he's so fair-weathered.
Is that the face that scrimping is? Ooh, she's scrimping.
Your Honor, this does involve the possession of controlled substances.
Yeah.
We are requesting unconditional bail in the amount of $20,000.
conditionally that she could be released on her own recognizance on the conditions that she have no use of controlled substances or alcohol that are not prescribed, submit to random testing, remain law-abiding, and report to probation as directed.
Mr. Gallagher.
Oh, Mr. Gallagher, is he going to smash some watermelons with his gavel? And G-Rob, you are correct. April lives in the guest house on the Recatus property. That was the dream of many Californian to the Cato Kalin to live in the guest house at a reduced rate of your buddy.
That's nice. Yeah, she is the Cato in this situation, I think. Also, Captain brings up a good point. He was Tony Danza, and who's the boss? Aaron's Tony Danza.
And what's funny about who's the boss? Literally, Angela was the boss. She was the homeowner. It's just the fact that Tony was a man. It's like, who's the boss? The woman who employs the man who owns the house, or the man who's a man?
He's doing the vacuuming. He's not the boss.
One of the gayest little kids I've ever saw. America knew he was a flaming homosexual long before Jonathan knew that he was one. Same thing with that kid from Fuller House. Oh, what a piece of garbage that show was. But the second gayest kid I've ever seen, that kid from Fuller House.
Yeah, I deliberately avoided that. I couldn't. That's too much rehash.
I watched. I don't even know. Well, once I started watching, I couldn't turn away because it's just a different style. Like the Miller Boyette style of sitcom is well done in their execution, whereas Fuller House is more like a Disney Channel sitcom, and it's just composed so much fucking worse. Like I specifically remember a dance-off episode where I'm like, who the fuck was the assistant director? Why does this look so fake? I know what you could have done with those background actors to help make this look not so fucking fake, this dance-off episode.
Yeah, especially a show like Fuller House should be more like you mentioned, a Miller Boyette production, that formulaic. Everything ends up the way it ends at the end of a traditional sitcom. Back to normal. The reset.
They were still attempting to do that. It's just they bring their own style. The Miller Boyette crew brought their style, which felt proper for the time, and it was definitely the Disney Channel crew that Netflix hired for that. There was no mistaking what that looked and felt like for for anything other than people who came up through Disney Channel.
Your Honor, I believe the allegations are very scant in this case, to the point that it would be inappropriate to have conditions of release on her. She's here on a summons. I don't know why we need to impose bail or conditions.
Because she had cocaine on her cards with a bunch of coke heads, and she was one.
Thank you, prosecutor.
And yeah, that's why. Because the other two are charged with second-degree fucking possession of an ounce of coke. That's why. They don't want her to do cocaine.
Okay, I like making laterals. Okay, if this is true, that April was there, she must be charged too for these drugs. Aaron, you must be charged with child neglect for those months that you were there neglecting children.
Exactly that. And I think, yeah, no, but he snitched. That's why he's not. That's why he's riding his high horse. He got them in trouble. He got out, and keeps referring to all three of them as cokeheads as if he didn't do it. He did. He just had problems putting powder up his nose because he's a big baby and it hurt.
Ooh, the drip down. You're missing the drip down when you're just taking it orally. You little pussy. That's a fun little bonus you get is the drip down. Wow, it's been. What's fun? The last time I did coke was in a Vegas bathroom, so that is a fun little finale story of once fentanyl started becoming a thing of being like, okay, I should probably knock it off when it finds me. Because that's been ever since the first time. I'm like, wow, this is really some stuff I like. We are never ever going to seek it out. If it comes by us, we make a game day decision. And I think because of Fent, my game day decision has to be a consistent no now, damn it.
Yeah, I know. You can't just trust powdered drugs anymore unless you really, really know a guy. I'm
Yeah,
too far in the street level to want to do that, you know?
Yeah, they used to just get stomped on with like a ground up Tylenol or something. Now you're stomping it with fucking poison.
Yeah, that's bad. Bad.
Pain while she's awaiting an omnibusin for coke.
You are to be booked on this charge, and you'll need to make arrangements to come into the courthouse in Candy County and Wilmer any business day from the hours of 9 to noon or 1 to 4. And that's just for pictures and fingerprints.
Oh, pictures. I'll dress up nice. I'll wear a dress. I'll do glamour shots.
You may gain your unconditional release by posting cash or bond in the amount of $20,000.
Don't worry, Your Honor. My boyfriend's got it. I mean my girlfriend's husband. I mean the fuck. Shit. My boss. Boss?
Oh, what a zinger there, Aaron. How could I let that go without acknowledging such a funny one-liner? You're on fire, Mr. Imholte. Can't wait until your 11th year anniversary to see you do stand-up one more time.
Oh, no.
Which, once again, I have to condemn him for getting shit-faced drunk. Doug Stanhope is allowed to do that. Doug Stanhope is a seasoned comedian who learned how to do it getting shit-faced drunk. Someone who does it like once a year? No. You can start drinking on stage. That should be your first. If it was going to be a party atmosphere all day like it was, you shouldn't have been doing stand-up. No.
Yeah, no, it's like a 2.5 drink thing. Like, especially like you said, when you're starting out, maybe a drink on stage to kind of loosen you up while you're up there, or just before you go on, so you're a little bit loose. But no, he was yelling at people.
It was daylight when he was already shit-faced playing the cornhole, making extremely obscure WWE references. Kennedy. Oh,
that's right.
Something fun that I forgot. That reference that he was making when that guy Kennedy left the WWF and didn't have the rights to Kennedy anymore, he started doing it with his real name, Anderson. It's April, so that gave me a little giggle.
There you go. Yeah,
you should be the Andersons doing that reference there, Mr. Imholte.
Boss, Nick's got it.
In the alternative, I will release you on your own recognizance subject to conditions. The conditions are as follows. Don't leave the state of Minnesota without prior court approval.
Sorry, Kiki.
Have no use or possession.
Oh, and Sam Bibley, South Park actually came up with how to get some fine quality cocaine that is good by making it legal. If we make it legal and put it through all the steps that legal marijuana go through, Santa sampled the coke, and he was like, wow, this is... Did Jesus sample the coke too? I'm going to have to watch that South Park episode. But they definitely gave a line of coke or just a bump to Santa, who was like, oh, holy shit. This is fantastic.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Possession of alcoholic beverages or mood-altering substances that are not prescribed to you.
Well, that's going to be fucking impossible because I need a drink right about now.
And submit to any form of testing to verify that you are abstaining. You must meet with Candy County Community Corrections initially to do intake or pretrial release monitoring of the court's conditions, and thereafter as they...
Starting to remind me of Stuttering John, the way he can't stop with the scrimp. He's got his word that he holds, that someone else made up, that he's just holding on to, and he keeps dropping. Pelican, shitweyer. Well, actually, John might have come up with that one himself. So half a point for shitweyer, but losing points for saying it nonstop for months on end.
No,
Pelican,
I agree.
The very first time I ever heard that was the bro fight on Stern. And Stuttering John just couldn't shut the fuck up. Pelican.
I know, but Mubi does the same thing. He fixates on a word. Sometimes when he's doing a news story, a word pops up and he just keeps repeating it. So it's like he's trying to embed it in his own brain.
Morgan Hombre Libre. Medical coke was a joke in GTA 5. The one that sticks with me is Giggle Cream from Vice City. Wah, 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 wah. That's the sound I love. I forgot about the medical cocaine. The Giggle Cream, that's never leaving my mind. I fucking love the whippets, the legal whippets. And that's the whole purpose of them.
It's so funny.
Require. All right. Anything else
Actually, my boyfriend told me you guys are all full of shit and corrupt, so I don't.
to come before the court today, Mr.
I'm a level 3 free inhabitant, so suck my dick.
Gallagher?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Pierce?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Matters adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
Every time, dude. I love it.
And I have heard this on other people's shows as well. Show me how them tits are, April. Like, do we know which one of us got on there risking a contempt of court to ask April how them tits are?
I am pretty sure that was Ian Hawke. I'm pretty sure, and I'm only basing that on like having heard him talk a number of times, like in VC and other places. And also, this is his MO. This is his type of troll. You know what I mean?
Radish agrees with you. He says it sounds like him, and this is definitely his MO. When he dropped that clip of Aaron, watch this Macho Man on Arsenio clip, and call County CPS. Call Stearns County CPS.
It's so good, dude. And he got mad at that one too. He was really upset. This one he'll laugh at because it's not him. He's one of those guys that'll laugh at a practical joke, but if he gets practical jokered, it's not funny. But yeah.
Yes, Dalio, we have got 2 people risking contempt of court. We believe that was Ian Hawke, and the previous video of Ethan Ralph not recording. No, I'm live streaming. I'm not recording. So we've got 2 flagrant contempt of court charges in this episode.
Yeah, and we watched his court hearing just a little bit ago. But early on in that, the judge stipulates if anybody does anything, if there's any shenanigans, it's contempt of court, and we will, like, this has been going on multiple times, you know, not just with these guys and Nick, but Minnesota in general. I think their links always get leaked. Their court numbers always get leaked. So you know what Zoom call to be on. It's great.
and yes, Mike Rackhabit pointing out it might be show me how those tits fart. I'm going with the show me how those tits are, but yeah, it could easily be requesting some tit farts, which I imagine is asking for some lactation in a roundabout way.
I think it's a movie reference too, but I'm not sure to what. Somebody said it was a reference to something.
My dick.
Mr. Gallagher?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Pierce?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Matters adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
And Aaron, absolutely hysterical. You got one in on that bitch.
Yeah,
I
he's
defended
happy for that.
nonstop just a few months ago.
Dude, what a contradictory dummy, man. He just will say one thing and then expect you to not remember 2 weeks later. And I'm betting that got him through most of his life.
So April kind of like smirks and smiles about it. Like April's
made
like,
me
haha, they're talking about my tits. Like,
What made you happy?
When she smirks, like her smirking.
Oh, okay. Her acknowledging that's silliness.
April is kind of an exhibitionist. Like, she kind of likes that people, strangers, like weird, creepy strangers, think about her tits. I think that's a low self-esteem thing. And so someone like yelling about her tits, like,
I think that bikini stunt was a low self-esteem thing. Call me crazy.
That was desperate for money too. They needed some cash for something. Coke habit, that's right.
Even though this went horrible for me and I have to go omnibussing and I can't do drugs or drink. Somebody said something about my tits. Dude, I'm a...
But Aaron, putting on a less... I was going to say, Aaron, putting on a less court-ready face, but he did put on a face and just kept it for the entire time.
He was pouting the whole time. Ass face. Yes, he has an ass face.
And here, now on to Hackverse Anonymous with arrest warrant issued for Aaron Imholte. I did kind of want to point the one where Johnny pulled the one where Johnny Crutches found out live on air, but there just wasn't much to that. Because all it was Johnny like, no, that's not true. Oh, holy shit, it is true.
It is true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his reaction, I don't know.
There wasn't much to that one other than Johnny. No, that's not a thing. Oh, that's a thing.
Piece of shit.
Flashback.
How nice was Kayla's rack? She was beautiful. I'll say that. She was a beautiful girl.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Hackverse Anonymous, for Exhibit A here. We saw it on the news report earlier, and now we're getting more of that footage rather than having a news reporter talk over the revenge porn, gloat porn, what have you, type of crime that Aaron is committing.
Right tit. Not a fan of tattoos on the tit.
Oh, the rosebud or whatever that was.
I just saw part of it in the mugshot. What? Come on, please. And I can say this because I'm a supermodel. You know, I can judge.
And it's been a while since we've seen Hackverse Anonymous, one of their videos, but they zoom in on the main point, which is him sending the nudes and giving you that little. He's sending the nudes right now.
Yeah,
Here is the crime happening.
Judge other people. I'm just saying, not a fan of the tattoo on the tit. That's all.
I mean, that's that I understand, Gino, and that's.
I'm not saying like if a hot chick like her had a tattoo on her tit, I'm like, no, yeah. Just saying, what your thoughts on that? The big old tattoo on the tit.
So Aaron is playing the part of me, and Gino is playing the part of Luigi Greenberg of being a fan of tattoos on titties.
Yes, that's it. I was going to say, I don't know if I trust Luigi as much as I used to because he shares the same opinion as Gino.
Give me 1 second here.
Oh, here we go. And what is it while you're looking about that? Like Kiana has tattoos, and I don't know if you'd notice this. Nuts about the girl. Love her. Greatest thing ever.
Check
there.
Keep your.
What's that?
Counting it down. The exact moment that the crime happened. Beep. There it was.
That was funny.
Had to check my text. By the way,
did you check?
I like tattoos more than I think.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
That's what got him right there. He could have said it was a picture of anybody, but he said, I didn't do too bad, which really seals it. You know, he could have said, this is just a picture of tits, tattooed tits. You know, that wasn't her. Until he says, I didn't do too bad. Now
and that
you know
proud
it's
of that proud of himself look that he has. Another win for the toe. Isn't that right, Mr. Visconti?
Yeah, he's super smug about it. Oh, that's one of his worst traits is that Aaron is super smug about every little thing that he is like, yeah, I got, cool,
And I guess at the time it was a win for the toe, getting a nice tattooed, perky tittied married lady. But now,
just take the loss, Mr. Toe Man.
But now you got to take it all.
He didn't do too bad, did he? Look, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the healthiest decision I've ever made, but goddamn.
Yes, it is. Oh,
And
I know that song
believe
too.
I believe that's an Ice Cube song. I'm just going to go ahead and mute that because I do get away from the DMCA shenanigans.
It's slowed down, but yeah, that's the one right there. Non-consensual dissemination of private images.
Not revenge porn by him gloating of it, but the non-consensual dissemination. That's just what the law, the one that you got to charge him for is the revenge porn. There is no gloating porn. Maximum sentence is a year and or $3,000, and we'll see what the charge is. Oh, what's KB saying about this now?
Another one for the toe.
Another one.
It's
for
the Ghetto Boys. That's it. Yep. Sorry.
Oh yeah, not Ice Cube. That was the Ghetto Boy.
Motherfucker. Yeah, I know that. I'm
very heavily featured on Office Space. The Ghetto Boys. That was the.
That's where they were smashing
out of the machine. We all took a little something. No,
what is PC?
Something else.
The fuck does PC load letter mean?
Damn, it's good to be. There was another one on that soundtrack.
And No More Tears, Scarface, No More Tears. When Dave Herman's in the car.
Scarface, Bushwick Bill, the little guy, and the other guy. Fuck. I can't remember the other guy. I remember Bushwick Bill was the little person, and Scarface is Scarface. He had the biggest career.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Oh, all right. I got to get away from the 90s rap. Otherwise, I'll go down a rabbit hole.
You don't want to talk about Praz, the other guy from the Fugees?
Oh, man. Yeah, the only one that,
I can remember that now. For the longest time, I could not remember Praz. There was Wyclef, there was Lauren, and
yeah, right.
For some reason, I can remember Praz now.
I'm sorry. It's just funny to me.
Maybe I'm a narc. Maybe I'm.
Now going over to our buddy So Thorough Joe Burrow, Crocodile Tears of a Clown, reminding us of that time that Aaron was pretending to cry. He did that for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, where he tried to break his voice and tell you how this woman who I still have feelings for, but he couldn't get the natural tears to come.
And he was crying about things that she used to do around the house. Like he was missing her get his water, or bring stuff downstairs.
Yes, that was the most classic one. That might have been the first one. She would have brought me my water. I really want a home waitress, but now she's upgraded to a homemade.
Now she's the live-in maid at Nick's. Aw.
Maybe I'm a square. Maybe I'm a dork. Maybe I'm a nerd.
Oh, thank you for adding that. So Thorough Joe Burrow. I didn't even need to add the yes to
One of the more shameless clips I saw is he tried to cry about the person who ratted him to Child Protective Services. Like him trying to make himself cry, that narcissistic manipulation. I mean, as someone who's felt a lot of legitimate feelings,
this man has no dick.
Literally, broken himself down to nothing and rebuilt from zero.
I don't think Aaron knows what real feelings are. I think he has a certain minimal range of feelings, but I don't think he knows what human feelings are. We're going to have to jump into our DSM-5 and do some more amateur diagnosing.
Looks like I got to move on to some new dick, huh?
To watch people try to use those very, other people's very real emotions. For them to try to mimic those emotions so they can try to get sympathy is really disgusting to watch and gets zero sympathy from me. Zero sympathy. I'm moving on from something that
previously on Steel Toe.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss for a long time, and it's going to be tough. And I'm moving on, and I'm doing a great job. For them to try to mimic those emotions so they can try to get sympathy is really disgusting to watch. And really disgusting to watch. And we hugged, and it was nice. And I said, honey, I miss her too.
I'ma do my stuff.
Johnny there in his escape pod. I wish that Johnny actually same thing with Johnny with Aaron when like I kind of want to support you, but you just don't have it. When this shit initially went down, it's like I think I want to support you, Aaron. Oh, this is how you're acting about it. Then never mind. I'm not going to support you.
No, and I agree. I tried to go over to Twitch and watch Johnny, and it's just as boring as you think. Corey Adam was the one that really he left first, and I watched him yesterday. He was just live streaming. We were hauling with the Walrus. Stopped at a Valero, and it was like I say about a lot of YouTube channels, it's the chat that kind of makes it, and so we were kind of all hanging out. And he's happy to entertain, and I think Corey's pretty funny. He's got chops. I just don't think he's got more drive. I think he's a little more lazy than he admits. Now he didn't used to be, but now he is.
And I do get that of having that drive. I've being another amateur diagnosis from the DSM-5. My laziness versus my drive. Another reason I believe I'm bipolar too, of when I get that hypomania and I can get a lot of shit done versus the depressive, I'm just going to do the minimum and then just sit down.
That's it. Or stare at whatever you're trying to do for an untold amount of time. Just looking at a blank notebook paper. I should be doing something.
All right. I wish I would have gotten one of last week's videos because that is all from this week. And I should have gotten one on deck from last week. Kind of just fumbling around right there through the playlist. Where's the one I'm looking for? Where's the one I'm looking for?
Hold on. I know where it is. I'll look for just bear with me for a minute.
Just hold on. As the doggy is going to sing a song.
I hear him.
Are you singing? He's trying to pick up my slack and sing a song.
I hear him. It's so
while I fumble fuck around.
Real quick, did you say his name was Tater?
This one isn't Tato. The other one is Tato. And when the roommates were like, "What do we call the dog?" and Russet Von Potato or Pug-tato, I was all in favor of naming him after a potato. This is the old dog in here today, Squishy. He came with the name Squishy. He knows the name Squishy, so he is Squishy. Basically trying to keep those two apart. The old dog does not like the puppy, and the puppy wants to play with the old dog.
I understand that. My aunt had two dogs was like that. Young Max was a bulldog, and he just wanted to get on everybody. And Dave, or it was the other way around. Dave was the young dog. But anywho, I digress.
But that was the doggy talk for the day. Let's see if this is the
secret.
What? Here's a random one. We've got up to 30 more minutes in today's episode, so this may or may not be the one I'm looking for. We reacted to the. Oh no! That's right. There was something else that I pulled today's episode. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm.
What I was about to do. Yeah, I had a brain fart. I did indeed have this together. So after a few minutes of and a doggy sideshow, yes, we have today's episode of what was going on with the steel toe.
Yeah, we might need to get into some 1.5 speed here.
All right,
but early on,
1.5 here, and see how this goes.
Because of this, like that's why
he's doing a gimmick of and that is a comedy gimmick I've seen others do well, of coming up to the microphone about to speak. No. So you are doing a gimmick I've seen others do well. Let's see how this goes.
Also real quick, I want to point out the whiteboard. It's still Quart TV. Back to every streak number 8, and it's a dry erase board. Something happens that frustrates me.
I'm a bit behind on the chat, but A. Smith accusing Wyclef Jean of stealing money from Haiti. He used to give a shitload of money to Haiti. He was under the impression he was buying himself a presidency. Once they didn't elect him, he said, "Fuck you guys," and left him high and dry.
Yep. Wyclef ain't a good dude. Buddy.
Do you ever think?
See what I mean? Like, I couldn't watch this in real time.
Yeah, he's doing a thing here. I'll give him credit. He's doing a gimmick. He's doing a thing of like, I want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So, all right, he's trying to do a thing.
Does it ever occur that maybe sometimes, maybe perhaps once in a while, do you ever think that maybe that maybe once in a while that there's probably a chance that maybe
All right, it's the fact that we are coming in not a fan of Aaron Imholte, that this isn't working as well as I've seen it work on others. Might be that he's not doing it as well, but coming in like, fuck you. I give him credit for doing a thing.
He's trying to do the bit.
Yeah, he's trying to do a bit. I'll give him credit for that. But coming into it of thinking you're a shithead, it's someone else I might be giving full credit to rather than partial credit, as I'm currently giving Mr. Imholte.
Did you ever notice? You ever take a look at what's going on?
Oh, is he doing his J Lo? You ever see this thing? Did you ever see? And Corndiff pointing out that Johnny is not a fan of Matt when they are basically the same broadcaster. They add just the same amount as the second mic over at Steel Toe.
There's a thing that Matt does that annoys me. Aaron will say something and Matt will go, yeah. Like after every sentence, like he's, oh, you know what happened to me today? Huh? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, he's just like every other word. I don't understand why he does that.
Going on and everything like that. Like, I had to have, I run a corporation here, a small little mom and pop organization here.
Business, corporation, I don't know. That's reaching. Maybe by definition, you can call your business a corporation, but that does imply more than one guy in his house.
Here. And we had a meeting yesterday. And at this meeting, all the members of the board present, we had a discussion.
Okay, he's doing a bit, going into another bit of how this one-man operation is a corporation and well-oiled machine.
Conversation, and we just kind of kicked around the idea that maybe it was brought up at the meeting that maybe I'm not so good for the brand. It was a discussion. It was brought up. It was motioned. There was no second, but it did not fail necessarily. So we tabled it for later. That perhaps I'm bad for the brand. There was a time where I was very good for the brand.
Yeah, no, not so good for the brand. Also, I tweeted at him. I told him, rebrand now. While you got this opportunity, 10 years of Steel Toe in the books. You just did, September is your new month. This is a new year. Start for your business. Start a new thing. Keep it Steel Toe LLC. Just make the show different for YouTube.
You're not a blue collar guy. It's supposed to be a show for blue collar people. Yeah. I'm with you. It's no bueno.
He drug his steel toes through the mud.
This is how the internet game goes. As the great Post Malone once said, sometimes you're running, sometimes you're crawling, sometimes you're broke, sometimes you're balling. Sometimes you're driving, sometimes you're stalling, sometimes you're flying, sometimes you're falling. But there's still beauty in the nosedive.
Know when to walk away, know when to run. Know when to fold the business. Know when to fold
I'm gonna hit
the
him.
steel toe name. It's time to fold. I know he wasn't quoting the gambler, but
no,
seemed like a nice little segue there.
So I think it was somebody on Kiwi Farms that said last week or early last week, Aaron Steel Toe's been stacking W's lately. You know, here's what I've learned about streaming and the internet and all that.
Stacking W's. He made fun of April, and that was a W stacked on top of a W. He was just stone-faced in his court appearance. That's apparently another W.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a little fun, where he starts stacking the W's and getting into this talk.
And I had to do a screen shot of that. Always, Aaron, with a drop the needle look of, looks like a Cro-Magnon.
Is that when you start stacking W's, save them. Save them up. Store them like nuts for the winter or firewood for your hearth. That's what you should probably do. How you doing, guys? Should we change this? Hold on. Let's change this up. Let's use one of these.
Here we go. Change it up. Erase that dry erase board. Salvatore M wants him to rebrand as a drama channel that doesn't involve the Baldo-verse. Shitheel Inc. Captain Miserable. Personally, I wouldn't go with a dirty word in my show name, but try it on for a little bit, Aaron. See how it fits you.
These bad boys, and let's change up our little board here before we get started today. I got lots of stories for you from the weekend. I got to get you guys caught up on a lot of shit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Look, am I aware that there are people that may not like me, that may show up in our chat and send dollars and things like that? Hey, thank you for the money. I appreciate it. I probably won't read what you write. I just want to throw that out there. There's just certain things.
I bet you'll still read it if it's about your ex-wife. Call me crazy.
Oh, yes.
Things I can't say. There's certain things I can't discuss. I will thank you for your money.
You haven't been allowed to discuss those things for a year. It didn't stop you before.
Money.
No, it didn't.
I
don't think he gets into too much early on.
And our YouTube
Oh yeah, he also
nuts.
He gives the mods the full reign.
Oh yes, that was such a brief amount of time in which he unblocked everyone, and then very quickly, only a week or two later, it was like, all right, go on full lockdown, block and ban as needed, use your discretion.
I never stopped.
Yeah, and that was after April.
I'm gonna change the message. What do you think?
Ban and ask questions later.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's go with something cute. Let's go. You know what? I don't even want it to remind us of.
So it's a dry erase board, and he just used a Clorox wipe on it.
Yeah, that
And
might
he's going
mess
to write
up the
on it.
board. And this also reminds me of the Stern Show and Opie and Anthony when they would bitch at guests. Get on the mic. Get on the mic. You're not on the mic, Imholte.
Yeah, no, he's talking at the wall now.
Shit and dumb things. So we'll just go with a simple.
Doing
He fucked it up.
Doing what I say of bounce the light against the opposite wall, except with sound. He's bouncing his voice across the opposite wall to get to the microphone.
Yes. I agree. That's not the most effective way.
Yeah, don't use those wipes on a whiteboard. It's not. You got to dry it off first. It's called dry erase.
You fucking moron.
You fool. You had a wet erase board that you were trying to write on that you're just now figuring out, oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I was watching this at 9:30 this morning, and I was like, this idiot. What an idiot.
As a Vikings fan, that totally checks out. That I would write that message.
Thank you, Corn Diff.
And that it would be faded. That actually is a great.
That was nails on a chalkboard, Aaron using a Clorox wipe. It is ruining the quality. You're going to have to buy a new whiteboard much sooner than you would otherwise of using that Clorox wipe. It's
And it's like you said, there's a coating on a whiteboard. Yeah, there's like that light coat that makes it a dry erase board. You just go and it wipes it off. And I don't know, man. I saw the Clorox thing come out and I was like, this idiot. The more you know.
Great omen.
Thank you, Corn Diff.
For the 2024 season. All right. So, oh my God, where do we want to start? You want to start it last Thursday? We can start it last Thursday. Here's the plan.
Yeah, we do actually have a drop for that. So that is something that you now know, Aaron, that a dry erase board erases with dry towels.
Pretty neat, huh? Okay, now cue the music and that star thing.
That, by the way, has been on my board forever. It was before he died when I threw that on my board.
It's a good one, too. It's,
because I got people in the Rumble chat. They're like, are you sure you should? Should you be on? Should you be out of here? Should you be talking? We all know what the rules are. We all know what can and can't be said. So we're going to say what we can. And then...
Are you sure? Do you really, really know what can and can't be said this time? You've been saying this for a while.
The disappointment of a lot of you.
I would argue that he doesn't know what can be said. He has no idea what he can say, and that's what gets him into trouble, because he just shouldn't say anything. Sorry.
The show's going to be essentially what it's been. We'll catch up with my life, and then we'll do a morning show. So I'm sorry if you want me to be your monkey. I'm sorry if you hate my fucking guts and you want me to just come up.
Oh, come on. With those arms, you're more of an orangutan than a monkey. We all know that. People calling you a monkey don't know that orangutans are actually different.
Dr.
Here
Zayas.
and just do nothing but spill.
Dr. Zayas. Oh, Dr. Zayas. And now doing my Simpsons reference with my Ray DeVito. A song popped up in my head. I'm going to sing it.
Why do you think I know the name Dr. Zayas?
Can I play the piano anymore? Why, of course you can. Well, I couldn't before.
Planet of the Apes musical should have happened. That should have happened.
A Streetcar Named Desire. I was introduced to that as a musical. I had to be told, no, it's a joke. It's silly and wacky that A Streetcar Named Desire is a fucking musical.
You're not going to get
that. Yeah.
I apologize. I know that's going
you're
to drive
right.
you more nuts.
Goddamn, Simpsons ruined me.
They introduced me to so many
by
things.
The Simpsons.
And yes, some things I learned wrong because I was so young. They were the first one to introduce me to them. And that's a parody. That's not a real thing. But what I do love is the Good Morning Burger is now just a regular ass burger. That was such a funny joke that you throw a fried egg on top of a burger. And now that is just a regular thing that a fried egg comes on a burger. I've seen that with Saturday Night Live too. The original season, they make a joke of, we have got this new razor with 3 blades, because 2 blades in 1970 was, look at this fucking thing, a razor with 2 blades. Then we were growing up in the 90s, the Mach 5, we've got 5 blades.
Yep, I remember. Yeah, and I believe there's one that's 5 on the front and 1 on the back now. Like, it's like, so you can shave this way, but then still get the precision of your single blade under your mustache. Those things, man. Whew. I hate shaving. Fuck that shit. Sorry.
No, that's going to bring out your dachshund fingers and everything like that. I can't stop you. Your mental illness for me has consumed you. It's who you are now. I'm sorry.
We got diagnosed.
Problems come up. I take steps to fix.
Aaron likes dipping into his DSM-5 too. Isn't it fun diagnosing people as an amateur? I was doing it before it was cool. I was doing it when it was the DSM-4.
To fix those problems, that's where we're at right now. But let's get to where. Oh, thank you very much, Aaron's period pill with $10, starting us off today. Says it's great to see you back on. You know what? It's great to be back on. I love doing my show. I really do. I love coming out here every morning. I like driving people nuts as much as I entertain people. You've got thousands of people that we entertain and thousands of people that we just break on a daily basis, and I appreciate them.
Another win.
Break. It's a good thing that you enjoy annoying people as much as you enjoy entertaining people. So kudos on finding your lane in life of entertaining some, annoying many. Andy Kaufman, if you will.
That's right.
This was a bit, you would be doing Andy Kaufman. You are Andy Kaufman sans bit.
Hate them both. Thank you for the money. I don't think it's any secret that this is going to be an expensive deal. I've already paid for it. For however, long it, I've seen people on message boards go, "Oh, he can't take it to this point because it's expensive and blah 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 blah." I'm not destitute. I'm not broke. This business runs itself on a shoestring. That's true. Our goals, pretty much break us even. Gives a few $100 of breathing room every month. But I got a buck.
And I heard one of the bigger streamers, either Carl Hamburger or Blind Mike, talking about how he has created this prison for himself when he got off of regular radio and came up with this model of, we'll just do $300 a day, and constructed his own prison of, I have to make $300 a day. You needed to go part-time to an actual job and done this part-time, and then you wouldn't be in this prison. You can still get out of the prison. The key to get out of this prison is a part-time job, or you could just keep doing this.
Yes, exactly that.
Buck or two squirreled away.
That's what he's going to do.
Oh, people are like, "Oh, can he do this? Can he take it to here? I'd like to see him take it here." I can go anywhere. I mean, I can go anywhere we need to. It's already
principled uncertainty catching him in a contradiction of wanting to talk about how he's gloating that the show is loaded. Actually, no, it can't have it both ways. Either the show is just doing so great, or you're barely scraping by. And the evidence points to barely scraping by, possibly with the fact that you're not managing your money well. That's something we haven't seen evidence of in a while, but it used to pop up here and there of him giving us a little sneak behind the curtain of how he doesn't manage his money well.
I will say this.
I think you might be frozen, sir.
Todd Peterson, my attorney, Todd V. Peterson. I love that I have a lawyer whose name sounds like a Supreme Court case. Todd V. Peterson. He's great, man. I found out about the warrant on Thursday.
Unfrozen.
I was already out to the cabin.
Okay.
It was funny watching the comments. I pretty much stayed off of social media, but anytime I would see any comments, anytime something would pop up on my phone, it would, there would be people who hate Steel Toe. They'd be like, he's on the lam. He's on the. Was that
now
my
I'm
cabin?
100% frozen.
I had a whole weekend planned. I had the cabin, and
he's on the lam. He's going to West Virginia. Fuck all this women. I'm going to West Virginia, and I'm on the lam. That's what I'm doing.
Call me Mint Julep because I'm on the lam. No, he was never on the lam.
It was going to the state.
I suppose he was for the weekend. It was right after his show on Friday that the warrant came out for his arrest, and he was like, let me turn myself in Tuesday. Let me turn myself in Tuesday. So there was a weekend lambing.
That, to be fair, that's what anybody should have done. That would have been the smart move.
Oh, yes, because you're going to spend the weekend in the clink. Home. That's right. You don't want to go in on a Friday. You're fucking up your whole weekend. You go in on a Monday or Tuesday. So, yeah, that was a good idea to not turn yourself in before everyone went home.
State Fair. And then Monday I was just kind of taking her easy. So Thursday I find out about this warrant, and I just looked and I went, fucking horseshit. Obviously, if you want my opinion on that part of it, horseshit. The whole horseshit. That if you want a comment from me, if you want me to discuss that part of it, Todd V. Peterson is my attorney. Horseshit. But I talked to Todd on Thursday. When I heard about it, Todd is board certified defense attorney. I mean, like a 9.6 ranking from the Criminal Defense Attorneys Guild or whatever the fuck the thing is there. He's the
Jack pointing out that Aaron missed the opportunity to get laid in jail by going in on a Friday and being locked up in there with all those sexy inmates.
man. He's awesome. He is an encyclopedia. He's great. I love Todd. I couldn't be happier. So Friday.
Okay, and this is why we rely on the Clippers, because I'm already getting the shits of them.
Yeah, but okay, we can let it go. We're coming up on 2 hours too. My internet's getting a little shitty here. He goes on to say they gave him Cheez-Its and snacks. They gave him breakfast cereal like Fruit Loops and milk. He had a drunk cellmate, like there was a guy sobering up next to him, shared his apple juice with him. Yes, basically that. Yep. And he goes on to talk about how good his mugshot looks. If I should have wrote down the times, I wasn't thinking early. But he says he took a damn good mugshot. Big fingers. What is that? What? Chevy Chase. He gets a prostate exam, and he's like, "Oh, you ever served time, doc?" I forget what that's from.
Yeah, I was hoping he would
Vacation or Fletch.
I was hoping that Aaron would front load this with those observations, but yeah, after doing the bit, we're getting into some reasons why we're not watching him. What Chevy Chase quote were you doing there? I talked over it.
He goes to get a prostate exam, and he's talking to the doc. Maybe if I do some calisthenics, and then the doc hits him with the finger, and he goes, "Moon River." And
that's
he
got to
goes,
be Fletch.
Thanks,
Definitely
doc.
wasn't Vacation.
Okay.
Definitely
Okay,
wasn't Vacation.
I didn't know if it was. Yeah, I didn't know if it was that or Fletch. I thought it was Fletch, but I wasn't sure. But he's like, "You ever served time, doc?" Like let him know he had big fingers.
And a big hello to Panasonic Tooth for dropping that critic reference. He has big fingers, but he's never seen them fing.
Another great show.
Yeah, let's jump ahead to a couple of minutes, see if he's talking about the Fruit Loops and such. If not, we'll stick with this for about 30 seconds and either stick with it for a couple of minutes or just get the fuck out of here.
He changed the station to 101.7 and the Johnny Rock Show. I feel like that was on purpose.
The cop was driving him.
Don't do anything on that show. It was all music the whole time.
The cop is mocking him by turning it to the other talk station that he has. All right. So, yeah, he does have some silly observations in here. Just need to jump around between the white noise. The cop was mocking me, turning on my old radio station.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
The whole time. Which is kind of fucking boring. But, and I'm in the back of the car, and I just ask him, I go, "Do you mind if I go into my pocket, get my phone, email my attorney, let him know, on the way?" He said, "Yeah, it's fine." Could not have been cooler, could not have been nicer. We sit in the intake garage there, and we're joking, and we're laughing, and we're just, talking some shit. And
Great, excellent. 4 extra minutes, and we're getting to the point. So here, we're getting him. He made a new friend. He made a new friend and a new fan of the show because that cop was like, "You, sir, are witty. I am going to subscribe to your newsletter. Oh, it's a YouTube channel? I'll subscribe to that. What do you memberships get you? Not a whole lot. All right. Well, then I won't pay you $4.99 a month, Mr. Imholte."
So far, this whole experience, like I was dreading this all weekend. I've never had anything like this, thrust upon me, shall we say. And I'm sitting.
You could have had more thrust upon you if you would have been there on the weekend. Uncle Jack pointing that out.
There,
That's
and
what.
we're joking, and
could have had a nice extra few inches thrust upon you, but you missed out on that deal.
It's the easiest time. I'm sitting here going, what the hell was I so worried about? What the hell was I so, so far Todd's been fucking amazing. This officer's been incredibly nice.
Could use the drop from Greg the Bunny, but actually that's one of those drops I want to have where Count Blah said prison rue that YouTube won't like. It's like the drop from TV Funhouse. Monogamy is for food. I want that drop on my board. That has to be only for a Rumble exclusive show. Monogamy is for pho and prison rue. Those are no-nos here in the YouTube language police area.
Oh,
Really
1984.
professional. So I get into the part where they search you. So they bring you in, a couple of doors buzz. You go through those security doors for intake, and they meet you and they take your wallet and your phone and
Shoelaces.
keys. Well, I don't think I brought my keys, but all of that stuff. They take all of those things, and they search you. They don't get you naked and stick shit up your butt. That's not what they do.
That's what the prisoners do.
But as they search you and everything else, we were talking and we're just bullshitting and they're telling jokes and I'm joking back with it. It was, this is going to sound weird to say. The first few minutes of it were fun. I was having a good time. I couldn't believe how professional Officer Toma was in the arrest and all of that. I get to intake, and the first thing the woman says at intake, she goes, "Wow, you're gonna be the best dressed guy here." And I'm like, "Yes." And
see what I mean?
She opens up
that
wallet.
was one of them. That was one of them right there. I'm the best dressed guy in jail. Woo! Are you fucking kidding me?
That's like the Jim Cornette says that phrase all the time. The nicest guy in prison, the best dressed guy in jail, and he didn't come in his snazzy suit this time. Well, the suits aren't the most comfortable of items to wear, so he took comfortability over his snazzy suit of turning himself in.
Yeah, I know. I wish he would have been wearing the suit because he would have had to lay down in that fucking thing. No, it was just the golf shirt. He went in regular clothes. Yeah, that's the difference, though. This is like regular city jail. There's booking and a bullpen and some holding cells. It's not county or federal lockup where you're going to be sitting for some time with some people who might want to hold your hand. Oh,
federal pound me in the ass prison.
They get so scared, too. I'm sorry. Office Space is one of my favorites.
Well, she sees a Caesar's Palace, an MGM Grand, a Mystic Lake, and 2 Hinckley game cards. The Players Club cards. She goes, "Wow, this guy really likes Vegas and gambling." I'm like, and I told her, I go, "Yeah, if you guys would all cut it out, I could afford to go back." So they do all that.
He didn't say that, but he wanted to.
Yeah, that's something. I don't think he thought that in the moment. I'm a quick-witted guy. And if he would have said that in the moment, I think he would have added in there, and they all laughed.
Right. Either that or he would have got a foot in the ass.
Holding cell, where there's you kind of see it on TV. There's like
the
10,
bullpen.
15 people in there. There was one other guy in there. He was in there for a DUI. He smelled, as people arrested overnight for DUI tend to be. He was stinky. It smelled in there. And they gave me a little orange coffee cup that had some cheese and crackers in it and some vanilla cream sandwich cookies. I was like, "Oh, this is nice." And one of the officers goes,
the honey
"There's one tray."
Kids cookies. That's what I always call them. The oatmeal cookies with the white cream in the middle. Forever, those were Honey, I Shrunk the Kids cookies. And I could give them a more simpler name, but that's where I first saw them, and that's what I associate them with. Which, by the way, I bought some of those recently. Those suffer from shrinkflation too. I miss those big Honey, I Shrunk the Kids cookies. And it wasn't just because I was several inches tall and I thought they were so big.
No, I agree. I understand. They're taking like little bits of pasta out of every box of mac and cheese, and I don't want to get into it. Tiny cookies.
And some vanilla cream sandwich cookies. I was like, "Oh, this is nice." And one of the officers goes, "I think there's one tray still left over for breakfast. Would you like it?" I'm like, "I'm not going to turn it down." Sure. I get it. And it's a thing of Fruit Loops and this really cheapy cinnamon roll thing. Not the best, but very sticky, whatever.
Actually, it does sound exactly like being an extra in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Principled Uncertainty. That is the craft services for the non-union actors there that he got. The union actors, they got a nice little upgrade. But you non-union, sorry, we can't afford to feed all of you as nicely as our union actors.
Whatever. And then an apple juice and a milk. And the first thing I do is I take my apple juice. I would have loved to have this apple juice. I really would have. It would have been a delicious apple juice. But I give it to the DUI guy. He looked like he was having a tough time. And plus, it meant I might be able to butt fuck this guy later. If
Oh, look at Aaron being a nice fellow of giving away his apple juice. Didn't you see the movie Life? You don't want to give that shit away. That implies something that I don't think you realize. But you're making a joke going the other way. I'm charming him into a butt fucking.
Yeah, that's that's
offering
was
my
another
butt up.
thing. Yeah, exactly. He's trying to preemptive be a boyfriend, boy wife.
if I'm here for too long. So I give it to DUI guy. He takes it. Thank you. We start talking. He was really bummed out. Like he was really depressed. Wasn't even fucking driving and blah, 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 and all that. So I didn't really eat I drank the milk and I had a few bites of the cinnamon roll. That was it. And then they take me to my own cell. And as they take me to my own cell, they're again very nice, joking. Yeah, you know, so far they're being like it's like a hotel stay where you can't leave. So far, I mean, they brought me some blankets and.
You gonna start singing Hotel California now, where you can't leave there, Mr. Imholte?
Oh, you know he doesn't, but that would have been on the bingo card too.
Thanks for the $2 from Annie O'Ryan. Great show as usual. Check the Discord after the show, please. And we will be on later tonight, either 8 or 8:30 Eastern time, talking more Prey. Myself, Annie, and Spurgsnake here. So check out that on What Is This Game? And just a few more minutes of this. We are over the 2-hour limit. So we're not going to stick with this for too much longer, but after skipping a couple of minutes, we are into the fun description of this summer camp jail that he's in.
And, you know, some other stuff. And it really was like, it was a hotel stay where there was a certain checkout time and you're not allowed to leave before that checkout time. And
He's drinking a breakfast Dr. Pepper.
The only thing I remember thinking about.
Oh, and did he drink that? Not particularly dainty the way he drank that breakfast Dr. Pepper.
And the only thing I remember thinking about like what was lacking was because they bring you a phone and you can make a call, and then if you had a free phone call, and then you can call your attorney as many times you want. I don't know if I was supposed to be Mirandized or not. I was never Mirandized. I don't know if that's an issue. I emailed that to my attorney yesterday. I'm like, nobody ever read me my rights, you know? I mean, nothing. I was never brought into a room and, questioned or anything like that. But I was, I thought that was weird. I was like, I'll keep.
So there's, you were never questioned. I don't even know what I want to say here. At 2 hours, I think my mouth has started losing its luster.
I'm glad.
Ah, shit. You froze up on us again as you started to make your point. Let's go.
I know. Is it still going?
My hat until
Okay, I think you're back.
I know. I heard a car drive by. My wireless is next. I don't want to explain. Anywho, he was using a technicality to get out of trouble. But he didn't read me my Miranda rights. And he was doing that to Nick. Nick was trying to get out of the warrant and the drug charges on a technicality. He just pulled the same shit.
Yes. He is all those things he said Nick is a piece of shit for. When he's in that place, he's doing the exact same thing. Thank you for the $1.50 super sticker, G-Rob. And I think we're wrapping on up here, especially as I went to make a point and my brain fucking froze. So it appears I'm reaching my limit on being able to observe and make some sort of comment.
Till after court. That nobody ever Mirandized me or whatever. Maybe they don't have to. I don't know. But I remember thinking when they put me in the cell by myself, I didn't have too much time to really think or anything like that because one of the officers came up and goes, "You want a book or something?" I said, "Sure, I'll take a book. Whatever you got." Brings me 2 books by this guy, David Baldacci, who writes like detective novels, detective fiction. And it was these 2 people, God damn it, Maxwell and.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. I don't need your book report. He goes into a book report. It looks like, it looks like a good time to be like, we hit our time goal of 2 hours. Don't want to go too far and overstay our welcome. And we'll be back tonight for What Is This Game with Annie talking about Prey. And then I'll be back a little bit later. All you folks who got a membership, all you rope shooters, can check out next week's episode of Co-Host Audition, where we have Michelle McDaniel making fun of fat people and dressing up like a clown in order to make fun of fat people. I don't think she is as encouraging as our last guy who was talking about fat people from Fat to Beast, from something like that. He was very encouraging. I don't think Michelle McDaniel is going to be so encouraging. And tomorrow as well, a membership episode of TikTok Around the Clock, a free one, and one for the members that will then go public next week when I am out of town. So that is all from me today. Spurg Snake is doing Wheel of Fortune on Sundays now. It did fall back to the Family Feud when you had a little bit of trouble with the loading. So season 1 of Family Feud is over. Season 1 of Wheel of Fortune seemed to go well the second episode around.
Yes, it did. Yeah, that was my bad. I had the graphics cranked way up. I was doing experimental stuff. Full disclosure, it's an emulator for Nintendo Switch, so I can load stuff on my PC and not ruin the games. But whatever reason, Wheel of Fortune wants to, it's like a resource hog. It's like, fuck you, dude, we're going to be slow. But chat's really cool about it. And dude, win after win this weekend. You guys are so good. These guys are smart, man. The hive mind of the chat is great because I cannot fucking spell.
I'm not particularly good at this type of word game. I was doing some other stuff, so maybe if I was more engaged like I was with the Family Feud, I might be able to, but I was having a hard-ass time with this type of word game and actually giving you some help. Some word games I'm great at. The Wheel of Fortune, looks like I would fucking suck at because
I know, me too. It's great though. I think it's fun because everybody in chat likes to laugh at my silly dumbness because I couldn't spell pomegranate this past Sunday, and Rini yelled at me for it. So.
And that is all for today. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to help the channel grow. I was going to make a boner joke there, but I wasn't quite there. Let's go ahead and send in Duke Phillips for that help the channel grow, and then pointing out there could be a boner joke there, but no, I can't quite make it happen.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke?
The joke was Aaron Imholte. It was the person we were watching. Any more plugs before I do the final sign off?
No, not from me. It's at Spurg Snake, wherever. You should be able to find me.
Excellent. I've got a Discord. I forgot to link it in the chat, so you can kind of find it, sort of. My Discord, me on the
Discord's
YouTube. Oh, actually, yes, I can share that real quick. Annie asked for people to know that, so copy and twice that I do a Stuttering John impression today of the just hold on.
There you go. And that's what I wanted to make fun of him for, because he does that and then he starts doing the fucking like hitting the keys real hard on the keyboard, and it drives me crazy.
Oh,
he hammers them.
The dabbler who's making the phony phone calls with him and has that typing while he's talking to someone. Very well done. I forget exactly which one that is. 1-800-DABBLER, I believe that is. So shout out to that person, 1-800-DABBLER. A shout out to the chat. Thanks for checking out us goofing on Steel Toe again. Watch me goof on people on TikTok Live tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Thank you all for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now
Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right and left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.